Hi people, this is Doc Creates. My name is Josh O'Dow and I'm an artist. So the other day I did a little challenge with my Instagram followers where I basically asked them to just give me like a little prompt or just basically what they wanted to see me sketch. Hi friends, today I figured just put whatever you would like to see me draw here and I'll draw it. I'll sketch it just for you and Instagram. Do it. As you will see, I go from like very sketchy to like more defined with every piece. But yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, basically the idea of this was to get like short and sweet little prompts that I can work with but still have inspiration from different people, from other people than myself. I think it worked out really well, and yeah, how about we take a look at the process videos. So the first one was just basically 3 flame emojis. I don't know what was expected to come out of that, but yeah, I just went ahead and drew a guy with a flaming sword because that's what I do. I draw people with swords. It's very basic, very sketchy, but it's alright. I get better with every single one, so it's okay. And yeah, I don't think the expectations were too high either. And yeah, I like that I had a lot of creative freedom though with just 3 flame emojis. The next prompt was dog, and I know nothing about dogs. I don't know their anatomy and stuff like that, but the thing with me is that I hate drawing from reference. That is kind of like my character flaw. And that's why I'm good at drawing people, but I'm not good at drawing anything else. But to get good at drawing something else, to build like a mental library, you have to like draw things from reference. That's how you start out with everything. Yeah, I'm not good at doing that. That's why I'm not very good at drawing animals. But I mean, I think this one turned out alright. I should definitely put more time into like learning how to draw dogs or dog-like animals. I definitely have to do that at some point. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see. But yeah, I just decided to put my own twist on it and gave the dog 3 heads, so it doesn't have to be anatomically correct. And yeah, it's one good boy with 3 good boy heads. The next submission was just asking me how I'm doing. Basically, I thought that was very nice, very considerate. I was doing well. I basically just decided to draw myself answering that question, but for some reason I had so much trouble with this one. I do not know why. Usually, as I said, I have that visual library in my head of how to draw faces and people and poses and stuff. But yeah, this one, I don't know why it took me quite a while to like get the head right. You see me coming back to it all the time. It also turns out alright. It's already getting less sketchy than the first ones. The next submission was to draw a rooster, and the person used a different word for it, but I'm sure that's what he meant. For this one, I did use reference, and I just basically copied that reference 1-to-1 because obviously it was a joke submission and I didn't want to like put in so much effort into basically a joke. But still, I'm still very happy with how it turned out. The next submission was from a friend back from school. He put me onto these books, The Name of the Wind I think it's called, and they're really good. If you like fantasy books, go read them, they're really good. They're also on YouTube for free audiobooks. Very nice to listen to and draw. And yeah, basically the main character is Quoth, and he has a lute and flaming red hair. So yeah, I drew him. This is also what I mean with like the visual library, because I was very happy with how I did the clothing, because the clothing is like like medieval clothing. Basically, I have that like down now, I guess. I have like a library in my head of different different cloaks, different tunics, different shirts, different pants, different belt types, and stuff like that I can basically just pick an outfit that doesn't always look the same on every character and stuff, and without looking at any reference. And I'm very happy I've got to this point. What I'm not so happy with in this drawing is the hands. I didn't care too much that I messed them up a little bit, because it was still not like a full-on finished piece, so I was alright with the hands looking a little off. Yeah, I also keep coming back to the face with this one, and I don't know exactly why, because like looking at the video now, I was quite happy with one of the first faces that I drew. But anyway, I'm also okay with the last version. The next submission was someone playing piano, and I really like this submission. This is why I do these kind of challenges, why I love doing them, is because I wouldn't have come up with that idea to draw it. Like, it's so simple, but that's not what I usually draw. Like, what I draw is people with swords and, I don't know, weapons, just not like someone playing the piano. This one was kind of the opposite of the earlier drawings of, for example, the drawing of myself where I couldn't get the right head and stuff like that. Yeah, with this one it was just like, I did it, I think 2 sketches. I went with the second sketch, really happy with that one, and it just, I don't know, it just worked out really well. This one was a lot quicker than the last one before too, because it just, I don't know, it just felt right, everything, and I'm happy with how it turned out too. I like the way I drew the hands, I like the perspective on the face, the perspective in general, and yeah. The next submission was a dragon, and this is like, I mean, the dragon is not like an animal, but it is definitely more animal-like than a human. So this was again like the dog. I don't have any memories, any knowledge, any like examples of dragons that I can go back to in my head, basically. So what I sometimes do is I go to ArtStation and look at other people's drawings of dragons, for example, and like draw inspiration from them. Don't use them like completely as reference or anything, just a little like reminder of how dragons are supposed to look. So that's what I did with this one. For example, the back legs, I think I get a lot better than I would have without looking at those other paintings of dragons. But other than that, it's really just I kind of applied human anatomy to it a little bit. I mean, which is not incorrect, because dragons obviously don't exist, or do they? In evolution, they would be somewhere on the way, basically, to humankind. So they would have the same bone structures and muscle structures roughly. So you can like apply that a little bit to dragons. But yeah, I still think the arm, like the anatomy of the arm, like especially the biceps and triceps and shoulders, they look a little too human-like. But other than that, I'm actually quite happy with how that turned out. I mean, I know I should like take time to actually learn these things, build that library in my mind to draw them from memory, but when it works out well without having that knowledge, kind of feels wrong, but you're still glad that you're kind of able to do it even without having that library in your mind. So yeah, I'm happy with how this one turned out. And then we get to the last submission, and this one was a whale. And this one was, again, very different, because I was talking about that evolution chain, I guess. Animals from the sea are a lot further away from humans than dogs or dragons would be if they existed. So I didn't really know how to go with this one. I did look at more reference on ArtStation for this drawing. In this case, I tried doing different poses, but I go with one that is basically just copied, like not completely copied, but roughly copied from one of the drawings I saw on ArtStation. because I just couldn't like put him into an interesting pose. I didn't know the anatomy, I guess, well enough to put it into a different perspective and stuff like that. So yeah, I was debating putting this drawing basically in the beginning of the video, like changing the structure of which I drew the prompts, because I didn't want to leave this video basically on a weak note. But then I had the idea of putting someone on his back, and immediately like this changed. It made the whole thing a lot more interesting, especially because whales have pretty basic anatomy and like shape language. So it would have just been like not much for me to draw, but by putting someone on his back, I can like tell a story with it. I don't know, some kind of underwater people, and they ride on whales, and this is like an old war whale. You can see he has like scars all over, he has like battered up armor on his nose, and yeah, just a guy with like a trident on his back. Immediately to tell so much more of a story, and at least to me makes it so much more interesting. Yeah, happy with how that one turned out as well. And I know I said that after every single drawing, but I guess that's just the case. And again, this challenge, I love doing things like these because the prompts were like they were very short and sweet, and I could do basically what I wanted with them. Like I put my own twist on every single one of these. I could put the piano player into whatever perspective I wanted. I could make a war whale out of a normal whale. I could give the dog 3 heads, because it wasn't like an official commission or anything where I had to draw exactly what people wanted to see. But still, I got that inspiration from someone else that puts you into those situations where you have to basically draw a dragon, for example, or draw an animal, draw a whale, draw a dog, and something that puts me out of my comfort zone, basically, pushes me to try out new things, but I could still like do it my way and put my signature onto it, basically. Yeah, I don't know, let me know what you thought of this. I had a lot of fun, as you can probably tell, because I've been saying it all the time, and I hope you guys had fun watching this, seeing my process. Anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and also follow my Instagram at darkcreates. Feels so weird saying that as if I'm a YouTuber. Like and subscribe. Yeah, anyway. Also, you'll probably be seeing old videos here, older videos, and like me to subscribe to me or something, so do that. So